Quickly, yeah. Over. Look at all the way up. There you go. Straight and smooth. Sit on this part. Make sure you know. We want them with the allergies. Want me to set up something right here? No. Dígale que no.
Boys and girls, when we start today, you're gonna really need to be at level 0 so you can hear. So even right now, talk quietly because it's gonna get everything organized. This is a pretty big project for lots of kids. So please listen up and listen the voices off. If you're talking now, say it at a low level, please. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. What page is this? Awesome. Who has a garden at their house? Awesome. Raise your hands if you've ever eaten anything out of your garden from your house. Raise your hand. Raise both hands if you have awesome. Yeah, homemade food is really, really great. And that's what Independence Garden is about. So I would also like to know who would be interested in having a garden at your school. Yeah, that would be super duper awesome, right? So there's elementary schools around Texas that have gardens at their school. And sometimes during the day, the children get to go outside and make food in their gardens. rallying for universal nutrition, which starts with the food that you get from gardens. Independence Gardens has a dream to have elementary schools across Texas participate in community gardens. How cool would it be if you can make food at your school and you can take them home for your parents? Yeah, that would be cool, right? And you can provide dinner for your family or for your brothers and sisters. I think that would be really great. I have a little son, Emerson, and he loves to be in the yard. So that's him. Yep, there he is, right back there. He especially loves strawberries. Can someone raise your hand and tell me something that can be grown in a garden? Okay, I'll do one from each table. Can you tell me something that can be grown in a garden? Strawberries, that's right. Okay, so we already did a really good job at this table, so we're going to move on to the next one. Can you tell me? Cabbage plants. Yeah, definitely, cabbage plants. Okay, how about we have a girl and a boy. Let's do boy. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's thyme, so that's an herb. Not a lot of people know about all of the different herbs, but there's hundreds and hundreds, right? Of different herbs. Okay, so now, can you tell me a plant from the garden? Watermelon. Who's ready for summer so we can eat watermelon? Me too. Okay, and then we'll do one more. Let me go. In the red shirt. Yep, you're wearing red. What is it? Tomatoes, that's right. You can grow tomatoes in the garden. So lots of fruits and vegetables can be grown in the garden, and the herbs you can make breakfast, lunch, and dinner from food that you grow on your own instead of having to go to the grocery store. Although we're very grateful for grocery stores. Yes, okay, so this is Chef Basil, and she will be participating in our campaign today. She'll be your instructor. So we'll practice good listening while she tells us a little bit about herself.
Good morning, everybody. Are you guys excited? Yeah! Awesome! Okay, we're gonna actually make a breakfast dish today, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But I wanna tell you a little bit about myself. So I actually became a professional chef about 5 years ago, but I've been cooking for over 25 years. I really, really enjoy food, and I love working with fresh, good, wholesome ingredients. I'll tell you what, when you make food from scratch, it tastes so much better than the stuff you buy in the store that's already boxed or pre-made. Plus, it's healthier. You're not going to have as much salt, sugar, or fat in that food, so it's going to be better for your body. I have my own business. I actually cook for private clients, but I did work in restaurants for a few years before I started my own company. And last November, who watches the Food Network? I was actually on Beat Bobby Flay. So I've been on the Food Network. Yeah, so you guys are lucky because you get to have a Food Network chef teach you guys how to make this recipe today. Is that cool? Yeah! All right, awesome. So the first thing we want to do today is we want to talk about the ingredients and the recipe. Whenever you start a dish, you always want to read through your recipe first, and you want to set up all your ingredients. In French, they call that mise en place, and that means to put everything in place. So think about it, if you're cooking and you're in the middle of the recipe, and let's say you had something maybe on the stove or it has to go in the oven, and you didn't measure another ingredient out, it has to go in. You could burn what you started. You got to stop and go get another, your ingredients. So we want to set up all our ingredients first, okay? And you'll do that every time that you cook. Now, the other thing is, this recipe that we're doing today, recipes are like guidelines. So if you wanted to add, let's say you like bananas, and you wanted to put bananas in this recipe. Recipes are a starting point. Always try to make it your own. So if there are certain fruits or vegetables that you guys particularly like, you can always add or change out an ingredient in the recipe to make it your own and make it something that you would enjoy more. All right? So are we ready to get started? Yeah. What's the first thing we're going to do? Read the recipe. All right. So we are going to make shaken, not stirred, mashed berry porridge. Okay? And our ingredients are going to be 1 cup of coconut milk, 1.5 tablespoons of agave. Who knows what agave is? Right? said it's something that's an additive that we add to food. Anybody else have an idea in the blue? Close. So agave is actually a sweetener. It's similar to sugar, but it comes from cactus. So it's natural. Sugar comes from a plant as well, but we process that in a plant to give us those granules to make things sweet. Agave is a natural sweetener, and that's just easily extracted from the cactus plant. Agave cactus, which is why it's called agave sugar. So that's what we're going to use to sweeten our food today instead of sugar. Then we're going to add some cinnamon, a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of unsweetened coconut flakes, because we don't need it artificially sweetened. Coconut has its own great flavor. And then we're going to have 1 teaspoon of pumpkin seeds, and we are also going to add quinoa. Who knows what quinoa is? Anybody else? She pointed to her bowl. So quinoa is on your table. We've already got that measured out for you. Quinoa is kind of similar to rice. You can use it in place of pasta. You can use it in place of couscous, if anybody's ever heard of couscous. But quinoa is actually a grain, and it's a super grain. So it's very healthy for you. You can actually cook it, and you can dry it out, and it'll get crunchy. So sometimes you can add it as a topping and add some crunch to your food. Today we've cooked it so it's soft, so it's going to be similar to like rice. But the nice thing about quinoa is it's a plant-based protein. So this is where we're getting our protein today. And the quinoa actually also has all 9 essential amino acids, which is also something you get from protein. So I don't know if you guys have studied amino acids yet, but this one is a good one because it's got all of the ones you need in your body. All right? And quinoa actually kind of takes on the flavor from whatever you cook it with. So we're adding berries and coconut today. So it's going to have a nice, sweet kind of texture without adding a lot of sugar. Okay? All right, so let's start. As we go through our recipe, what we're going to do, you've already got your bowl of quinoa, okay, at your table. You've already got strawberries and some blueberries, okay? We're going to have to measure everything else out. So there's 4 people per group, okay? I need to have 1 person stay at the table to mash the berries when we get ready to do the recipe. And then I'm going to need everybody else to go help measure the rest of the ingredients, okay? So take a second and figure out who's going to do that.
You guys can't use
Okay, have we gotten that figured out? Guys, let's keep going. So if I can have everybody's attention. Okay, so for the people who are going to go measure, I want you to take 1 deli cup, okay? This is actually 8 ounces. So when you go to get the coconut milk, and for this table back here, you're going to use regular milk, okay? You're going to measure out 1 of these. It does not have to be filled to the top. Right before those little pleated marks are, so just right to there is where you're gonna fill it. That will equal 1 cup, okay? Everybody got that? Who's doing the measuring on the milk? Okay. At this table here without the tablecloths, on this side, there are measuring teaspoons and tablespoons, okay? And there are also on this side, measuring teaspoons and tablespoons. Everybody paying attention? I hear a lot of chatter. I don't want people having questions when you get back there. You're supposed to say, yes, chef. Okay. So your measuring spoons are going to be over here, and they're labeled teaspoons and tablespoons, okay, and half teaspoons. And same thing on this side. So you've got your milk, your agave, your cinnamon, and your vanilla. And then you also have coconut flakes and pumpkin seeds, which your table back there, we're not going to get the coconut or the pumpkin, okay? All right. So for the people who are measuring out the milk, you're going to take this container, okay? For the people who are measuring the cinnamon, agave, and vanilla, take your black bowl. After you measure it out, put it in your black bowl, okay? And then for the people who are measuring out the coconut flakes and the pumpkin seeds, take your tray. Yeah, take your stuff off the tray. I have a question, guys. Hold on. Good question. You just asked, what are we going to mash the blueberries in? So you have 4 containers, okay? And actually, we're going to reuse the ones we're using to measure. But the person that stays at the table, use your jelly cup and use your spoon. We're going to use the back of the spoon to mash the fruit, okay? Yep. So we use 1 for milk and then 1 at the table for the berries, okay? I have another question. All right, hold on, guys. Wait, we're not starting yet. I haven't told you to go. We have questions, so I want to make sure this is clear. Whoever is measuring out the coconut milk or milk, use one of these containers. Each group has 4, so take one of these to measure your coconut milk or regular milk. Also, the people who are staying at the table to match the berries. Same thing, use one of these cups, put the fruit in the cup, use the back of the spoon to match the berries, okay? All the other ingredients, except for the coconut flakes and the pumpkin seeds, are gonna go in the black bowl after you measure them. The pumpkin seeds and the coconut flakes are gonna go on the white tray. Everybody got it? Everybody ready? Okay, now we have to be organized and we have to share as we get back to these tables because we only have 2 tables to measure all this out. So I need patience, I need quiet, and I need everybody to take turns, okay? I didn't hear what, okay? Thank you. All right. Ready? Get set? Go! If the piece is not working well, open up one of your smaller packages and use the fork. The fork will mash it together. Once you get back to your table,
Because when you measure out, I want you to hold on before we go any further, okay? Strawberries and blueberries together, yeah, measure together.
Caesar, look at that guy over there. No, look at that guy. Look at that girl there. Why do you always wear long socks? Because long socks work. I bet you why do you always go like that? Yeah, just go like that. I don't like that. Mine doesn't even move. Just raise up her. You try to move it to the left. Move it to the right. Try to move it to the right. Nope. This is happening. Wait, this we're on TV. See right here? No. I'm gonna block your face like YouTube. This is like right here. Where's what? No, Naive. So we're on TV. Lady sees it. Sees it. Wow. Can I stop broadcasting? Let's stop broadcasting. That's just bro. Rob.
The trays are on this side. What did you have a phone?
We're live on right now. Look, see, live.
Put me on this side, please. Come with me on this side.
Hey,
Okay, I need everybody's attention real quick. When you get back to your table, stop. Do not go forward till I instruct you to do so. Okay? If you want to figure out, everybody know, and you already know, so don't. You've got an herb on your table. I want everybody to smell it. And then when we get ready, I'm going to ask what it is. Don't say it yet. I want everybody to see if they can figure out what it is.
Okay, if you've gotten back to your table, I need you to kind of be quiet so everybody can hear when we get started, but just wait for me when you get back to your table and then I'll instruct you what we do next, okay? So just hold on. Almost ready. So I have a question while we're waiting for our few last tables. Who can tell me what 1/2 teaspoon is considered? In math, what's 1/2? Well, what's the number 1? It's a whole number, correct? What's 1/2? It's a fraction. So when you cook, cooking has a lot to do with science and it has a lot to do with math. So those are two really great subjects to make sure that you learn so that you can cook. Okay, I think everybody's back at your tables, correct? All right, so I want you to, if you haven't already, I want you to pick up your herb. I want everybody get a chance to smell it. Okay, on the count of 3, I want you to yell out what this is. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Excellent, guys. This is mint. So we're going to add this to the end of our dish, okay? So hold on to this for me. All right. In your black bowl, you measured out your cinnamon, your agave, and your vanilla. I want you to take your coconut milk, pour that in the bowl. Pour the whole thing in the bowl. So I have a sous chef helping me today. This is Golly. So does anybody know what sous chef means? That would be a sushi chef. She's a sous chef. That's also a French word, and that means assistant. So she's my assistant. She's second in charge. Okay, so everybody poured your milk in the black bowl? All right, now I want you to take your quinoa and dump that in the bowl. Okay. Let's try it down a little bit. Okay, now take your mashed berries and add that to the bowl. Okay, one more thing before we finish. I was Mike, and each student can actually take a leaf off your mint plant, but I want you to take the mint, take it off its stem, and just tear it into some smaller pieces. Okay? Put that on your white tray. Not in the bowl yet. White tray. So once you've torn them in, put that on your white tray. Okay, let's have it a little quiet in here. I know it's exciting. But here comes the best part. Everybody ready for the next part? Guess what? Thank you. Okay. So now I want you to put your lid on your bowl and make sure it is snapped on tight. Volunteers, if you go through and just make sure all the lids are on tight for me, that'd be fantastic. Everybody ready? Everybody's lids on tight? Okay, here comes the, okay, hold on. Now are we ready? Here comes the fun part. I want you to take that ball and I want you to shake, shake, shake. All right. I think it should be pretty well shaken at this point. What do you guys think? Can everybody hear me? Are we good? Is everything good and shaken up? All right. So you have your black spoon. You are going to reuse your container that the berries were in and the container that your milk was in. Okay, so you should have 4 containers. One obviously has a little bit of milk and one has a little bit of berries, but that's okay. And you're going to take your spoon and portion out equal amounts into each of the 4 bowls because that's going to be your serving of your shaken but not stirred mashed berry porridge. So you need to divide your big white black bowl into 4 servings. So watch Chef Dolly if you're confused. She's taking our bowl and she's taking out portions. So everybody can try what we made. Okay? But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Once you have it all portioned out, I want you to stop. Is everybody listening? My awesome students, is everybody listening? Okay. After you get everything portioned out, I want you to stop. Don't eat it yet. We're not done. 4 bowls. Each group has 4 people, so you need to do 4 bowls. Equal amounts. Okay, let's quiet down for a second. Is everybody portioned out? Okay, what do you still have left on your table? You got the coconut, the pumpkin seeds, and the mint. Except for this table. So I want you to take just a pinch of each, okay? So a pinch of the coconut, it needs to go on top of each bowl. We call this a garnish. It's what makes the plate look pretty. But there's a trick to garnish. You should never garnish a plate with something you cannot eat. Okay? So sometimes you might see a plate in a restaurant with flowers on it. Guess what? You can eat those flowers. They're edible. So never put something on your plate that you can't eat. Okay? So same thing with the pumpkin seeds. You need to put a little pinch of pumpkin seeds on each bowl. And then you also need to put a pinch of mint in each bowl. Okay. Not yet, don't eat yet. I want to talk a little bit about why we added the coconut and the pumpkin and mint. So you notice we didn't mix that in the bowl, right? We put it now on top for two reasons. One is the garnish to make the plate look pretty, okay? Because we eat with our eyes first, so we want our food to look good. So we'll want to eat it. But we also are adding texture. So the pumpkin seed adds a little bit of crunch. The coconut flakes stay with the coconut milk to kind of give you that same flavor, but it also adds a different texture, okay? And so does the fresh mint. It's gonna add some additional flavor. You always hear chefs talk about layers of flavor. Well, we just layered our porridge with some mint and some coconut and some pumpkin. All right? So guess what? We get to do now. Yeah, everybody dig in. with, what did I say? We could add different fruit if you like bananas or mangoes. You can add all sorts of different fruit. You actually could even do something like this for dinner. You could add vegetables. Instead of using coconut milk, which is sweet, you could use chicken broth, or you could use some spices and some herbs to make it more savory, not so sweet. Put chicken in it. So this is a good basic recipe that you can add a lot of different things to make it taste different. Okay? All right, can I have it quiet in here again? Did everybody have fun today? Awesome. I want to open up the floor to anybody that has questions for me, but I'm going to need everybody to be quiet so I can hear the question. Okay, and I'll go table by table. All right, so let's start at this table. Anybody have any questions? Yes. You could actually, if you wanted to toast your pumpkin seeds, you could do baked, and that would actually make them more crunchy. Next question. You know what, food, that's a good question. She asked, why do some people maybe really like this recipe, and why do some people maybe not like it so much? Everybody's palates are different. So and this is what's hard for chefs, because a lot of times when we cook, we've got to try to make something that pleases everybody. But everybody's taste buds are different. So that's why I said, use this recipe as a guideline, put things in it that you like. So if this wasn't your favorite recipe, add ingredients that you like to it so that you will like the recipe. And then you've made it your own. Any other questions at this table? Okay, how about this next table? Any questions at table 3? Yes, ma'am. You could put bacon in it, yes. That would be really good. Any other questions at the second table? No? Hey, I need everybody's attention. Anybody else at this table? You have another question? No, okay. I'll go back to you here. What was your question? Cheddar's is a scratch kitchen. So it's a restaurant where they make everything from scratch. And they're actually one of our sponsors today. So they actually helped us put all this together for you guys. So did Aramark, which is another company that works in the food business. And they actually helped provide all the ingredients for today for you guys. Okay, third table over here. Anybody have a question at that table? No? All right. How about back here? You guys have any questions? All right, how about this table? Yes. I did not beat Bobby Flay. It was a really great experience, though. I had a wonderful time. It was a lot of fun. Anybody wanted to know, I had to make chicken thighs. Thank goodness that was my ingredient. I was praying I did not get one that I did not know. So I had chicken thighs, and I made a spicy fried chicken over chimichurri pesto with a tomato bell pepper relish. Oh, it was good. Next question. Hold on 1 second, I can't hear her, I need it quiet. Go ahead. You could put maple in this, if you want to put some maple syrup. She asked about adding cheese again. Remember, you want to try to use good, healthy, fresh ingredients, okay? And try to keep your flavor profile. When I say profile, that would be your ingredients you're using similar, okay? So, like, you could add a fried egg on top with a little bit of bacon and a little bit of maple syrup, would actually taste really good because that would taste like breakfast. Anybody else at this table? All right, I got lots of questions at this table. Let's start with you. You could use apple juice, absolutely. Because because your liquid that you're putting in this dish is helping to flavor the quinoa. So absolutely you could use apple juice. Your question. You could put oranges in it, absolutely. Your question. This was not one that we made in culinary school, but I cook with quinoa all the time now because it's healthier than using like white rice or pasta. So I actually use quinoa quite a bit in my cooking now. We have a question about if there's leftovers, they need to eat it here. Okay, so you do need to finish it here in the cafeteria. Good question. Quiet, I can't hear. No, it shouldn't taste weird if you didn't follow the steps exactly. That shouldn't make a difference because we mixed everything together anyway. It might just be that there's an ingredient in here you're not used to. Sometimes it takes a while for your tongue to get used to new flavors. Next question. Shh. Guys, I can't hear. Be nice. You can actually, our table back here, put normal milk. Did you guys like it with the normal milk in it? Absolutely, you could use almond milk. So lots of different types of ingredients you could use. You don't have to put pumpkin seeds in it, no. If that's not your favorite, absolutely not. Quinoa is sold pretty much in every single grocery store now. It's either going to be where the rice is, or it'll be near pasta. And actually, sometimes you can find it like where your beans are, like your dry beans. Another question over here? Bobby Flay ended up having to cook, he had to make mofongo, which is a Puerto Rican dish, and it is basically like a shredded ground like shrimp and corn like fritter. Yeah. I went to school for it. So I liked cooking. I said I cooked for over 20 years, but I did that basically at home, and I had dinner parties for my friends, and I started an open house for all my friends that didn't have family to go to on Thanksgiving. And so I just really love to do it, and I decided to go to culinary school so I could get smarter about cooking and make sure that I was cooking the right way. And at the time, I actually didn't think I'd become a professional chef. It just kind of happened. But it's awesome, and I love my job. It doesn't even feel like work. And I get to do fun stuff like this with you guys. So there are two different types of chefs. You can either be a savory chef or a baking pastry chef. And I give so much credit to baking pastry chefs. But it's good to be able to learn how to do both. When you do cooking like this, measurements are important, but they're not necessarily going to make or break the dish. So if you wanted to add more mint, you could add more mint. If you really like cinnamon and wanted to add more cinnamon, you could add more cinnamon. When you bake, though, your measurements have to be perfect because the ratio of the salt or the flour to the sugar to the eggs are what makes the cake or the cookie or the bread do what it's supposed to do, get fluffy or rise. So baking, you have to be exact. Have another question back here?
How long does it take to be a chef?
I went to school for 2 years. To get an associate's degree, but you can actually go for longer and get a bachelor's or a master's. It just depends on how far you want to take your education. No, I did not create this recipe. This was actually created for us, but I do menus for all of my clients. So everything that I do for my business are my own original recipes. You guys made it good. You were the chefs today. You guys did the cooking. Okay, I'm going to take a couple more questions and we're going to wrap up. I was in my early 20s when I started cooking. I was 40 when I went back to school to become a professional. 40. Old. Your question? Bobby Flay is actually really, really nice. He's a really nice guy. I've actually met him 3 times, so I've met him twice before I actually got on the show. But it's a competition. So he's a fierce competitor, which means he's not gonna go easy on you. And you only get 20 minutes to cook in the first round, which goes really fast. I'm kind of a mini celebrity. So if you've seen the show, then yes. If you haven't seen the show, then nobody knows who I am. I actually really love to see the smile on people's faces when they're happy and satisfied and full from eating. I don't like people to be hungry. It really makes me sad. So I love to see people happy and eating, and eating's a social thing too. So how many of you guys actually sit down together at the dinner table and eat with your family? That's awesome. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. So, and you guys talk about your day, right? And you get to know what happened with your family for the day, if it was a good day or if it was a bad day. If it was a bad day, you talk about how to make it better. So eating is also a social gathering. When I started cooking, I loved to have dinner parties. Like having my friends over and cook for them was like one of my favorite things to do because I get to enjoy my friends' company. I get to see them happy and not hungry. And we laugh and we have a good time. So cooking is actually a very part of our society. And making friends and keeping your family together. Okay, I'm gonna add 3 more questions, or 4 more questions, that's it. I was not a master chef. I actually was a professional chef before they started doing master chef, and master chefs are for home cooks that have never gone to school and don't make money in the business. Yeah, so if you watch the Food Network, there's lots of shows where you see children or young adults, like Chop Junior. There's MasterChef Junior. So there's a lot of people who are really getting interested in this industry. And I mean, if you think about it, eating is kind of something important, right? We need that to survive. So it's a really great thing to learn, and it's a really great field to go into if you really enjoy it. Like I said, my job doesn't feel like work. I get up and I get to make people full and happy every day, so it's awesome. So if anybody wants to watch my episode, it's on YouTube. It was season 6, episode 4. It was called She's a Lady, and it's on YouTube. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix, but it's on YouTube. All right, so that's gonna wrap up our day today. Did everybody have fun? Guess what? Awesome. Everybody give yourself a round of applause because you did a great job. And I want to say thank you to all of you for participating today. And I also want to say thank you for being so good and listening so well and allowing me to come and share my knowledge with you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, so I have a little bit to say before we dismiss. Okay, can I have listening ears for a few more minutes? Level 0. Okay, so I've learned that all of you are really good at listening to instructions and being creative and making something new. I hope that you enjoyed this experience. Thank you from Independence Gardens for participating in this campaign to encourage group solutions. It's very important. I was just about to do that. Yeah, that's my next step. I wanted to say that for those of you who are interested in learning to cook, you can maybe follow in Dolly's steps at the Colony High School, which is the high school that you guys would be going to if you stay in the school district. You can be a chef in high school. So you can be participating in a class where there is a kitchen and cooking tools. Is that right, Dolly? Mm-hmm. And Dolly, do you get to make food for people in your class?
Once every 2 weeks, we get to cook for all the teachers. And I remember there was the CEO of Nebraska Furniture Mart and one of his business partners that came in, and that was really fun getting compliments from them.
Okay, and then actually last year, food from a garden at an elementary school, at Independence Gardens Elementary School, the food that they grew, the children your age, was used at the Colony High School to serve people a nice dinner. So you too can be a part of creating healthy, good food in the garden that serves people who are the owners of big businesses and teachers and people that would really appreciate it. So on behalf of Independence Gardens, we thank all of the volunteers and administrators of Independence Gardens, Dolly and Chef Basil. So could you all please give them a respectful round of applause?
First, I do want to say thank you. You did an excellent job. There's many students in here. You had to cooperate together to make the ingredients together. Excellent, excellent job. And it took a lot of people to get this. Independence Garden, we have school board members, we have PTA, we have a lot of people that supported you to be able to do this today. So please, one more big round of applause for them. Thank you very much as well.